Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're going to take a look at the Jabra Elite Sport wireless sport earbuds. Now these earbuds follow in the same style or technology type as we saw with the Samsung Gear Icon. Now one of the things that they profess, Jabra that is, that these have great battery life, great audio, and great fit. Let's check these out. Now, as I had mentioned, we had already reviewed the Samsung Gear Icon, and while I really liked those earbuds and enjoyed them, the battery life was abysmal. You got no more than an hour and a half at most. And also, there was some concern just with overall battery life when you charge them in the charging case. So when you put them in the charging case, what would happen is they would discharge too fast. So even though you had a charging case to extend the battery life, if you left them in your gym bag or in your briefcase for more than 3 days, you'd come to earbuds that were almost fully depleted because the case would discharge as well. And it hasn't been identified as a defect whatsoever with Samsung. So now enter the Jabra Elite Sport that have a similar model and have a similar approach to the earbuds that we did from Samsung. These are also intelligent. These are not just about audio. They do more than just that. So let's take a look at some of the features. We'll do an unboxing and then we'll go over this product. Now, taking a look at the specs, let's get a little bit closer to look at some of the things that they highlight or the value. Now, these earbuds were just released a couple days ago, and they're really hard to get. So if you did a pre-order, you may have gotten it today, but they really haven't been shipping, and I was really lucky to get my hands on these. But if you already have it as well, and you have some comments, please comment in the comment area and tell me and tell all of us what your experience is. But what I'm excited about this is that they profess that you're going to have superior wireless sound quality, not just for listening to music, but that your audio quality when having a phone call is going to be great as well. They talk about wind noise reduction, so that means as you're running outside, like I frequently run 5 times a week, that you would expect that the noise that comes with the wind that's coming in your area or just ambient noise from cars and whatnot are going to be greatly diminished because of the noise canceling capabilities that they have. We'll have to see it. Well, they call it noise reduction. We'll see what happens there. 9 hours of battery life, and I have to say that I know I'm being a little loud, but up to 3 hours of music talk time with on-the-go charging case, and then an additional 6 hours. That would be awesome. If I get 3 hours out of these compared to the Samsung, which was only getting me no more than an hour and a half, that will be great. They are comfortable. They profess that they'll be comfortable and easy to wear. And I can tell you, if they come close to what my Samsung ones, I'm going to love them because those were a great fit and they never fell out. Ear-in-ear precise heart rate monitor and analyzer. So this is where they go one step beyond. Not only is it going to allow you to use these for running and listening to music without any wires or working out in the gym, but it's also going to maintain or record your heart rate as well as other statistics that it will analyze. You'll have an in-ear coach, and you get a 3-year limited warranty against sweat failure. In other words, if they get too wet and basically something happens. Now the other thing, as you can see here, is this device can or is compatible with special features coming from Strava, Endomoto, MyMap, Fitness, Runkeeper, and Runtastic. While this is great because these are real staple names when it comes to fitness, I wish they also included Samsung because there's a lot of people that use Samsung fitness solutions. There's a lot of people who use the iPhone's fitness solution that Apple provides, and also the ones that come from LG or Motorola. So kind of a little disappointing that you don't see that yet, but hopefully they'll get that taken care of soon. Now literally all you do is open up the packaging just like this, as you see right here, and it highlights all the features, the fact that there's an app that you can download, and the fact of the accessories that it comes with. It comes actually with a couple different type of ear gels that we're going to see. So you will have 3 types, and what you have is the ear wings that are going to be helping align and making sure that it stays in your ear, and then actually 2 ear gels, the silicone gels and then the foam tips. Foam tips are great for noise isolating, especially if you're not going to use these for working out. The silicone ones are what I prefer for working out because I found in my experience that these over time they kind of get slimy and icky. That's a technical term for yuck. I really don't like the way they fit or feel. So you may want to do this if you're going to be an athlete, this if you're just going to use it for commuting and traveling. And then here you can see the case and the earbuds. Let's go ahead and unpack this and we'll see what's inside. Now, opening up the packaging is pretty simple. All you have is a plastic tape, or clear tape actually here, that's holding this plastic down. And then all you do is you can raise this and you can see all the accessories you have. I actually like this layout. I like it a lot because it keeps things nicely and organized. And sometimes when I do unboxing, the pieces just fall out all over the place. So here you have your gels, and obviously this comes a small, medium, and large. And then here you have your foam pieces. And this is what I was talking about, the foam pieces. I'll show you these. These you squish and they kind of conform to your ears. And they provide a lot of noise isolation because they'll make sure that they cover every part of your ear canal that it touches. And then here we have these that are right here that are the silicone versions. They also provide some good isolation, but you'll notice this is more about sweat and making sure that it's comfortable in your ear. And then here you can see these ear gels. They're or the wings. Here you'll notice that again, all they are is these nice wings. And I'll tell you, the touch and feel, they feel almost like surgical silicone is the best way to put it. Really nice and soft and not abrasive. You have a micro USB charging cable, a user guide, and then over here, if we focus now on this, we have our charging case. And overall, it actually feels really good. This, when I was looking at the Samsung version, and I know I continue to go back to them because that was the other version I had reviewed, the case felt like it was going to break. I was really afraid when I was closing it that it would snap at some point, and there was kind of concern over durability and the hinges as well. Those of you who have it know what I'm talking about. This feels sturdy, and it snaps nicely too. Listen to that. So nice, sturdy, feels really good in your hand. And again, this is your charging stations. And I don't know what's going on up here, but we'll get a little closer. Probably just a serial number and a part number right there, so not a lot there. And then what you have here is your charging area, and I'm sure when we start charging this up that there's going to be an LED that lights up that tells us what the battery life is here. So let's look at these now. Excited about these, especially with the battery life that they say they will have. So we'll see if we can pull them out. Pull this one out too. Kind of hard to get out. Surprised. There we go. All right, so they do not have any ear stabilizers on them, so we'll have to put those on. And they don't have definitely the ear pieces either. So your ear gels, or foam, or the silicone one, depending on what you're doing. But this is really everything that's to it. As far as the weight goes, I want to say that they feel slightly heavier than the Samsung ones, right? So they're a little bit heavier, but I don't know if that's going to translate to ear fatigue at all. You'll notice that there's some contact points there indicating left or right, and the speaker, and it looks like this is the area that's going to be sensing, or is it a control? Let's see, get a little closer to that. It doesn't look like that's pressable. But we'll learn more about all those little components because I don't see it repeated on this side, so only one has that. So we'll see if this is the only heart rate sensor on there or what that is in a second. So all in all, that's what's in the box. All the accessories you need to customize the fit of these new Jabra Elite Sport earbuds. Now let's take a look at the earbuds a little bit closer. So one of the things I just wanted to mention is that by default it does come with what they refer to as their small wingtip. To me, it really doesn't have a wingtip, but here is the neck size, and you'll notice the difference. This one has this ear stabilizer. This one does it. I guess depending on how your ear is shaped, you may care or not care for this. I always appreciate having something like this because it just makes sure that it doesn't fall out because of this extra area kind of hooking to the cartilage of your ear. However, I have to say that even wearing this one without the wingtip, the base one that was installed, I felt that it was very secure. Just by putting them on without them turning on, really good nice noise isolation because these really go into your ear canal and they kind of go in and then they kind of you twist them somewhat to get them in nicely. Now, taking a look at some of the controls, let's talk about some of the features we have. We'll start with some of the basic ones here. First of all, these are multifunction buttons, so this is going to be your increase the volume and skip music, reduce the volume, and then also to go back. Over here you have some multifunction controls, and you're going to be able to use this multifunction button for pausing, or actually for multiple things. For pausing music, you're going to be using it for answering phone calls, and then this one is for accessing apps. You do have, again, these are, they say waterproof, water resistance, however you want to look at them. So you should be okay with them running in the rain, sweating them, not to go into the pool with them, right? So a lot of flexibility there. If you take a look at the, here, the charging base, So you'll notice that it's plugged in, and it is showing that red LED there that's going to allow you to charge. And then all we'll have to do is just put each one of these earbuds in place. They are labeled, so you have your right goes in your right. You just put it in place like this, and then once you close it, they'll start to charge. So unfortunately, there's no charging indicator. I don't see anything there. Maybe let's unplug this to see if it says it's charging. Oh, there it is. So now you see the charging indicator right here in front. We saw it just right there for a couple seconds, so I'm assuming that there's going to be two charging indicators, one on each side. So let's go ahead and place this one in, and that side, and then we'll close it. We'll see if it lights up. There you go. So there's your charging indicator. We'll go ahead and let these charge, and we'll do a sound test. I'm going to go ahead and install the app on my phone, and then we'll go through the pairing. Now, while the headphones themselves are Bluetooth and they should be able to work without this app from Jabra Sport Life, one of the things that you can do in order to get the full experience is install the app. So this is the app, which I've already installed. So now let's go through the setup process. Now, once you open up the app, the first thing you're going to have to do is tell the app a little bit about yourself, your height, your weight, all the information. Some of this stuff could be picked up automatically from your existing profile, because I'm noticing some of the things are already in the profile for me. I just have to change my date of birth and some of the other things, but so far everything looks pretty good. The one thing I would also want to remind and just highlight, while the app may be optional, if you do want to have your headphones, or in this case the earbuds, updated to the latest firmware, you do need the app. That's how you update the firmware. So we're going to go ahead and fill in this information, and then we'll go to the next step. Now, once you went ahead and inputted your demographics, what you're going to do is choose a type of earbud or headphone that you have. I have the Jabra Elite, so I'm going to select that in a second. But before I do that, I'm going to remove them out of the charging station, and what will happen is they'll automatically go into pairing mode. So I'm going to choose this, and I'm going to choose Start Pairing, and I'm going to wait until they show up. Let me put this on camera. Sorry about that. So we're going to wait and see they'll show up. So you'll notice that the blue light here is flashing, and we're going to wait for the pairing to pop up. Now, once you've completed the pairing mode, you're going to go into this little tutorial that's going to show you about all the controls, and it shows you what the appropriate wear is. I really like the way this illustrates it, because first of all, it saves me time from showing what it looks like in your ear, but it also shows you also how to fit it. So you notice how that little stabilizer that I highlighted is right there. You put it in, and then what you're going to do is you're going to twist, and that stabilizer gets tucked right here at the cartilage of your ear. So that's neat. And then that's what the look is going to look like. Now, you do have a lot of voice prompts coming out of these sport buds. I heard a couple seconds ago, because I have them on right now, it telling me that it detected my heart rate. So you do have a female voice that comes up and just prompts you, or a coach that tells you what's going on. So here, what you could do is notice you can launch the app using that button as we talked about. You could, during a cardio workout, you can, tap additional buttons to get additional feedback. You basically have the some calibration that can take place, so we're going to go ahead and start that. Now, while this process is going on, you actually are hearing some music in the background. I'd call it like elevator music, while it's doing that test to determine if it can see your heart rate. Okay, so it says it was successful. Now it says wear the earbuds and run on the same spot and jump for 15 seconds. This test will determine if the sensor is detecting your heart rate optimally while running or jumping. So we're going to go ahead and try this. So literally what I'm doing behind the camera, you can't see me, but I am running and I'm jumping in the same place that I'm standing. So now that I've done that, it's coming back and it's saying that it was successful. So we're going to go to the next test. And here, as you can see, it's looking at what my heart rate was based on my little jogging in place and jumping up and down. So you can see that I did raise my heart rate. All right, now we'll go on to the next step. Let's see what that is. We'll hit done. All right, so again, this is all the information that the app has. So it has a lot of fitness information, and you may choose to use the app for that. You may not. I'm just going to choose allow, and then here's some more information about tracking fitness. So let's go ahead and switch to audio, just to see overall what the audio experience is, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Now, before we actually go into the app itself and start talking about some of the features in the app, I wanted to go back and talk about audio quality. So audio quality, you have very crisp mids and highs. Bass is also present, but this is not an overwhelmingly bass heavy earbud. So I would say it's kind of balanced all throughout. You can tell a difference, and I've listened to bass heavy music and you can hear it, but you're not going to be thumping, thumping, thumping like it's let's say like some of the Beats do. But it's very enjoyable. The noise isolation that you get from these pieces right here is very good, I have to say. I found that someone had to tap me on the shoulder in order for me to be able to pay attention to them if someone was talking to me. The other piece is it does have this sound pass-through technology that you can enable either in the earbud or on the app, where you can listen to music and at the same time hear your surrounding. At times when I'm going on a run, depending on the path that I'm running on, I want to hear what's going on around me, and at the same time want to hear my music. It is somewhat of an artificial pass-through, so you can tell that it is digital because it's using the mics that are inside of the earbuds in order to do that. But it's okay. It's what I would have expected from it. Now, the one thing I did notice is that you cannot use one earbud without the other. So you have to wear both earbuds. And that's something that the Samsung does well. You can actually program which earbud is the one that you'll be using as the primary one, and then the other one pairs to it. So you can literally, even though you only have an hour and a half battery life, you can use one for an hour and a half and then use the other for an hour and a half, getting yourself 3 hours. This, you have to wear both. Also, that there's no way to turn these things off. So, the way you turn them off is by putting them in the cradle. So you have to have this with you at all times. Now, when it comes to fit, I find that even going through different ear gels and foams, that the Samsung Gear Icon fit better. Yeah, you heard that. The fit, how it is in your ear, the overall comfort is much better on the Samsung. Now, I'm not saying that these are bad at all. If you just were getting these and that's all you used, you'd feel fine with them. But since I have them both and I did my comparison, it actually feels better. The weight, I can tell the difference, especially since I've tried, having a Samsung in one ear and having these in the other, and I find that that contributes to it. Maybe they're a little bit heavier, but the trade-off is that you get better battery life. So that's everything that I've observed, and I'm going to go on a run tomorrow and I'll create a video that will be about impressions, and I'll do that tomorrow. So today it's really the unboxing and overall features. Now, as far as the app goes, the app has a lot of features that I think you guys are going to enjoy. It does have workout features, as you can see here, various type of features that you can have, and I would just invite you just to play with these things. There's kind of like a test that you can do to just figure out what your fitness is. There's training plans, information about your body, history, and achievements, which all can be backed up. You do have some settings, and we'll go into that. And in the settings, you can determine socially what you want to share. So you have your training settings here, music that you want to listen to, display your cardio on the display, the voice readouts, and it's leveraging the GPS. You do also have some calibration settings. Let's go back in here and let's see, where did I see those? It was under settings, I thought. Headphone settings. So what we have to do is make sure that it's open and enabled, and once it pairs, we're going to see the headphone settings. So give that a second. Now we can go into headphone settings, and here you can get the readout. So this is going to be, that it's on. It's going to get all those voice prompts, income and caller ID, hear through, and you have two modes, right? So if I enable that, you could do hear through with music and surrounding, or surrounding only, right? So that's I don't know why you'd use that other mode, but you have that, right? So, and then you can disable that, and that's also controlled from the earbuds themselves. Walking calibration and running calibration is great if you're not using your smartphone, right? Or not using the GPS. You have your firmware version here, 2.15, and it will update using the app itself. Now, something else about the controls, right? And it talks about tapping. So you tap this and you tap that. And I'm telling you, I was tapping, going, hey, make it work. And I couldn't get the volume to increase because it's more than a tap. These are not touch-sensitive buttons that you just rub your finger on and lightly. You actually have to press, and you'll feel feedback. You notice as I'm pushing down, you see how it gives in there? That, get a little bit closer, you can see that. See that? So you have to press that in. You'll feel the feedback to increase the volume. Press that to reduce it. Any of the functions, you'll have to press them. Samsung is more of a touch. right? So you don't have to press down because of there are no physical buttons that you have to depress, but everything is all touch based. So if I want to increase the volume with the Samsung, I just go up like this. If I want to reduce it, I go down like this. These you have to do the physical piece. Not a deal breaker, but just want to make sure if you get these, that's what you expect. So that's my overall impression unboxing it, some of the features and some of the comparison. I think that if you've never worn another wireless earbud in your life, you'll be very happy with these. I'm going to test the duration of the battery life tomorrow on my run, and then I'll report back on my overall impressions. So if you have any comments or questions about the Elite Sport earbuds, leave it in the comment area below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and as always, don't forget to share and subscribe.